Here we go.
All right.
So yeah, I don't want to say we talk too much before this, but
Nah.
I do that all the time. When I set up, I talk to whoever I'm doing this with. I'm like, I probably should have saved a good 10 minutes of that for this.
I mean, that's why I was trying to withhold as much as I wanted to talk to about with you.
That's good. That's good. No, yeah, I think the good part about having to set it up now, not just everything set up, is it kind of loosens everyone up a bit. But yeah, dude, this is your first promo. You haven't released anything yet, almost. But
no, we're 5 days away, man.
Yeah,
5 days away. I am very excited about it.
So you have, because I don't even know everything, you have 3 songs? How many?
Yep.
Songs?
So it's 3 songs. It's technically considered a single. I just found this out when I was putting everything out and I was looking into it. So a single is when there is 3 or less songs and each song is less than 10 minutes like a piece. So this entire time I was like going through all this stuff. I was telling everyone EP. But yeah, apparently it's a single, but it's got 3 songs on it.
So that makes no sense. So as long as they're not 10 minutes in total or each?
Each. So so like if one of my songs was over 10 minutes,
okay,
it would make it an EP, but they're all like 3 and some change, so it makes it a single. And like I had always seen other people release music like that, where it was like they would have 2 or 3 songs and it would be instead a single, and I was like, why do they term it like that? But like the artist has no choice. It's how the store that's selling it, like that's how they want to basically determine it.
So then
the distributor.
Well, then what makes something an album? Because if I have 10, 13 songs that are all 3 minutes apiece, wouldn't that be... Aren't we just all listening to giant singles?
That's what you'd think, man. But I looked at the EP criteria because there was nothing for an album, so I'm assuming it's whatever is in an EP is an album.
Then what the fuck is an EP?
But
I'm so confused.
Dude, this stuff gets all confusing. You'd have to look it up. But it's like, yeah, EP stands for extended play, and it's basically just a shorter album. Like, that's what it means. I don't know what all the terms are. Yeah, and exactly. Like a single is like just shorter than an EP, but it's more than one song. It can be more than one song, and that's all the stuff that's just, it was lost on me when I was putting it all together. But either way, it's a single. It's got 3 songs. And yeah, I'm pumped about them.
So when this is released, it comes out today, which is awesome.
Yep.
Just cool to say.
Yeah, man. Debut single. That's what's crazy.
Debut.
Yeah, it's how I've been marketing it, and it's wild to see.
I've seen it all over the place. Like, I mean, you have, because I have both of your accounts on socials, and I figure, like, when people start doing stuff like this, you kind of figure, like, all our friends will repost it. And, I mean, I've seen tons of people I've never even heard of, and then obviously you'll repost it to your. It's great. I think you're getting a decent amount of traction for.
I was shocked to see how many people reposted my post when I first put it out.
You do well. We all want to see you do well.
Yeah, man.
Man, I'm still baffled by the single thing. Like it just doesn't make sense.
It shook me when I was doing it too, because I had to start labeling all my stuff, and it was weird because like.
What do you mean you have to label it? Like,
because like when I was going through, so I go through a distributor, and they're the ones that give it to all the places. I don't know how it is for when you do podcasts, but that's how it is.
It's a lot easier because we had like a drunken conversation about this. I think I remember
we did. A couple weekends ago.
Yeah, and I remember you describing like, because I was like, I could just put all your stuff through what I do and get you on Spotify in 2 seconds, but then the way you described it was better.
And I'm sure just like what I had kind of gathered from it too, what I have gathered is that like they go through a lot of like reviews and stuff of the music, and like they make like there was a lot of criteria for like the album artwork and just kind of like the distance between your songs and like so much things that you don't really think about until you're there and you have to just get all of them like technically figured out.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of what when the distributor sends it to each store, because each store obviously has their own criteria also.
Yeah.
So they have to get it all figured out, and you have to give them enough time so they can process all of that, so then you get your release out on time. So I don't know if that's maybe where it differs from podcasting. I
think, well, it's the review board. Now that I remember correctly, it's so with the platform I use, it's the free one, because I mean it's not like I have big bucks coming through right now, so I don't need to pay for anything, but. Why did I think this was off?
Terrifying.
No, so like, yeah, it's the review board. So when I submitted mine, they say, okay, we're gonna review your podcast. But I also didn't. Both of the ones I've started, the first one I actually had material when I put it on there. The second one, like this one, I didn't. But I think because it said podcast on there, they're gonna assume you're fine. Because if I remember correctly, I remember looking back, and if I just would have put Michael Kuski down, they would have probably been like, hey, what's the content you're putting on here? Because I could have snuck in free music, I guess, onto Spotify. And I don't, because I mean, it wouldn't be good marketing or branding for you if you called it the Brian Goyette podcast and they're 3-minute songs. That'd be an unfortunate name, just Brian Goyette podcast music.
That would be disgusting. I don't think I'd get very or generate any streams that way.
No. Are you? So I ask you this: are you nervous at all to have it out?
I wouldn't say so much to have it out, but I'm nervous with more so just like what it could entail in the future. And like, you know, I don't think I've fully kind of wrapped my head around moving and all this kind of stuff that's coming with it. It's because it's all really happening so fast.
It'll hit you Friday night.
But yeah, it's going to be, I will listen to one of my songs on the album, the title track, Montgomery Drive. And like, it's the song about my hometown, and I will listen to it. And I was on the treadmill the other day listening to it, and I actually like started tearing up. So like that's when it first hit me. But
I think it's good. I think obviously I think you're nervous in a good way. It's like before a sporting event, we kind of get butterflies. Obviously, it's such a cliche way of saying it, but like you want to do well. And obviously, I can't imagine you're gonna put something out. And you're like, I hope this bombs. I hope no one listens to it, or everyone does, and they hate me for it, which isn't gonna happen, obviously. But because I remember when I put this out first, when I did the first one, and I didn't even plan to put it out. I had it. It's one of those things where you kind of like cue it up, but you never hit play. Yeah, which is what I thought I did. And then I put it on the platform. Yeah, and I thought I had to hit publish, and I hit schedule, and I was like, oh, I can schedule it later. Yeah, but it's scheduled for like the next 30 minutes, and I didn't realize that. So 30 minutes go by, and I get an email, and like, congratulations, you are now on Spotify. I'm like, oh shit, this is happening. Just there? Yeah, that moment, which was kind of almost good, because it's just like, hey, you're doing it. It was just like a push.
I would definitely agree. Because when I don't want to steer your thunder here, but when I finally put all my stuff on my distributor, because I got the masters back, and when I finally like kind of just put all the information in, and like you're just sitting there like, this is happening. Like when I push this, assuming everything on everyone else's end goes smoothly, which it did. Yeah. Like I'm going to have music on Spotify, on Apple Music, on iTunes, on Amazon.
That's just like, that's the coolest thing. Yeah. Is like, because you see it like growing up. I mean, it's not that old, but like I take iTunes. When it first came out, we're paying 99 cents for a song. You're like, oh shit, like these are real people, like real artists, real whatever. They're on here. Like for me, it was like twofold. Like one, okay, it's kind of easy to get stuff on these platforms.
when you actually go through it and like realize it, it's
like not that hard. But two, it's like, holy shit, I'm actually on here. Like at one point, I thought was the coolest thing in the world. Like, oh my god, what if I was to go the kind of country music route, Kenny Chesney, or I had Toby Keith songs, I had albums on there, all the stuff I created. I'm like, oh shit, I'm actually next to him now. I mean, not really. I'm definitely not like, hey, have you listened to Kenny Chesney? Also, have you listened to Michael Kuski's podcast?
But you're searchable under the same domain.
Exactly.
Which just makes it crazy. Like
just as
crazy
to
think about.
Yeah.
Because after I did all this stuff and I was looking, because they make like artist accounts then for you to, like you have to eventually claim it. Because they have to prove that you're you and all this stuff. But when I finally got access to like my Spotify account where it had the little blue check mark, verified artist, I was like, dude.
That's cool. That's way cooler than what I have.
Like in a week, there will be my music that I wrote and put out on this page that everyone can search, and just like, it's just mind-blowing.
Now, how quickly, because obviously you're not attached to a label or anything, but how quickly, let's say you made a song tonight, had it mastered, like, whatever, completely done. You have the final copy, start to finish, mastered. It's just there. How quickly can you have it on Spotify now? Now that you're a verified artist and this is basically your account, like, can you? Is everything up for review, or can you kind of just post? Obviously, not whatever. like you're not going to start releasing podcasts now on your artist thing, but how long would it take you to get your 4th song up?
Now that I have like all that stuff put together, I think it takes, so I don't necessarily really know. I probably won't until I actually do it. But what I gathered was like when I put it out, you have to check, do you have music on? Do you not already? Because obviously then they have to make like the artist accounts and all that stuff for you. But I mean, it wasn't necessarily that long of a turnaround, but they do tell you to try to give them at least a month in advance.
Really?
To put stuff out. But I mean, I did it 2 weeks before, and everything's been cleared and all that.
Yeah, I think they're probably giving you like the longest it's ever taken someone.
And that's like if there's hiccups, like with
exactly
what they've got.
And I can imagine like it could be released. You're like, hey, this isn't the right one. Like, all right, give us another week. We'll figure this out.
Yeah, but I mean, what I'm gathering now is that like it's literally a matter of just clicking, I have an account, and they say, okay, we'll put it next to all your Brian Goyette artist page stuff. And as long as they just approve everything as quickly as they did this last one, I mean, it's a matter of 2 weeks is how long it's going to be for me to get my stuff out. So
then, because like this interests me a lot, because you have if you look at anyone else, like let's take an established artist like Kenny or Toby.
Yeah.
They have their top 5 songs. Obviously, that's auto-generated by Spotify by basically plays. So like that makes sense. Or like what's getting the most hits at the moment. What's trending kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have the discography, and then whatever else. There's songs. How much of that can you organize, if at all? So like let's say you wanted to release another 3 songs. Like let's say you wanted one on top of the other, or hey, this is an album now, or greatest hits, or like whatever.
Yeah. So a lot of that has to do with, so I'll take it from the aspect of if I was going to put another thing, like more music out, and then add these 3 to an album. You have to, so when you start uploading songs, they give you a little code. It's called an ISRC code. And that's basically, it just tracks everywhere that stream, that specific song, it tracks everywhere it is. So if you were to go re-release the song as part of an album, you would have to put that same WAV file, put it into the wherever you want to, like wherever in the album you want to put it, and then you have to copy that exact same ISRC code. And then that's how it kind of will, all of those streams will carry over on to like the same database, because then that all has to go to like the revenue people, so they make sure that they register every single stream, so you get all the money that you need for it. But then when it comes to like organizing your own,
you get paid per stream now, which is obviously not a lot per stream,
like,
but
Spotify's rate right now is like 0.0035 cents per stream. So yeah.
Raking in the big bucks on Friday, buddy.
They gotta add up. I'm gonna have that thing playing on repeat as I'm sleeping, just at 0 volume.
At like ×2 speed.
Yeah, for real. But
I made 5 cents last night, Mom.
I'm gonna be a freaking Grammy winner.
Oh. Can you imagine? It's like, I have 2 million streams in the first 2 months. It's like, and 1 million of them are mine.
In the basement that I don't currently live in anymore.
Exactly. Yeah, you leave
on my laptop.
Turn the volume off. You leave. You just have a computer plugged in, and just
like,
times 3 volume.
The
just
freaking energy bill running up so high because this thing's just plugged in and fucking.
That would be
going.
Just a constant ticket counter. Yeah, I mean, I can imagine though that headache that you're gonna that you're gonna have doing that, because obviously that sounds tedious as shit.
Yeah.
But
again, it's one of those things where I don't think I'll know exactly what goes into it until I do it. But
exactly, and hopefully you don't have to do it for too much longer, because that kind of seems like something when you can just say like, my people will handle this kind of thing. You're like, yeah, that's hopefully. Like you in due time. That's not something you even think about. It's like, oh, I recorded. Figure the rest of the shit out for me.
We'll put this out, and managers and
I'm gonna go
label
get
people go do that.
Some barbecue.
Yeah.
God.
Go to Broadway and hopefully.
Speaking of Broadway, you are moving down there now. which is, I commend this move so much because I did it out of college and just on a whim, just left, no job, nothing. Obviously, you have stuff in the works, but not immediate. It's not like you're starting a new job Monday. No. You just kind of going down there and just like, fuck it, I'm doing this, which I love.
Yeah, dude. I mean, it's been something. The move itself, like the idea, has been in the works for about a year now, a little less than a year, because it was after the Nashville trip that we went on last March, February, March. That's when I kind of just was like, okay, this is what I'm gonna do. This is what I got to do. So then,
it's always good to make a hasty decision after a trip.
Yeah, right. After a nice 4-day bender and the worst hangover of my life.
You know what I want to do? I think I'm gonna move here, even though I feel like dog shit.
Oh man, dude, literally the worst hangover of my life. That drive home.
You also get some of the worst hangovers I've ever seen. You and Gain, who was on this week, like I dubbed this on Jake's episode, this is Nashville week, which is an overarching theme in the last 2 shows I've done. Whether episode-wise or when I had Tending a List with Braxton. Like, the Nashville has been brought up so much over the course of 20-some episodes. Like, it's almost like it's a part in our DNA. Like, it's about time one of us actually lives down there.
So then we all get down there sporadically and kill ourselves.
Oh, it's a bombshell, which I think is I wanted to bring this up to you, too. I want your opinion on it, but whenever we go down there, because like we treat it's Nash Vegas, and for people who love country music and live music and all that stuff, and not even like people who don't like country music still go down there because it's a hell of a time.
Yeah, it's still just a good spot.
But when we get down there, we're on cloud 9, and we are having so much fun, and it gets out of hand quick. And obviously day 1, I mean, chalk it up as a loss. I mean, it's a win but a loss.
Dude, I don't know if I remember any part of that trip after that,
but it's so fun, and like I think that's why we like going down there so much. But it's almost like it was good going down there in doses. So 2-part question, I guess.
Oh, I know where this is going.
You know where one part is. The other one, because I thought about moving down there at one point after college. Are you worried moving down there is going to take some of the allure out of it? It's going to kind of ruin. Like I used to call it when we first went for Gaines 21st. I came back and I told my mom, I was like, it's kind of like a little slice of heaven.
Yeah.
Live music, barbecue, like beautiful people. It's just like everyone's having fun. Like it's a little slice of heaven. But if I was there for a month straight, I'd be like, I think I'm dying, because I would be just like, your serotonin levels through the roof. Are you worried, 1, that you're kind of lose some of the appeal to it? And 2, are you worried about Gain?
I'll start with 1, obviously. I don't necessarily think I will. I think I'll look at it in more of a aspect of this is how I've been looking at it. Like, this is where I need to be in order to do what I want to do.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think, at least fingers crossed, hopefully I don't lose control, but I'm going to be trying to like work on my craft and stuff more than going out and getting crazy.
I think you'll have a easier time than the latter of the two, the people going down there. Just because, I mean, you're going down there for a purpose. I mean, for what it's known, you're going down there for what it's known for, but to work at it, not just partake in the atmosphere.
Yeah.
Not that Gain's going down for a great job opportunity, and it's his dream place.
Yeah.
But I think along with many other people, especially his mother, we talked about this on Saturday, are a little worried for him. Not worried, but he could just go balls to the walls, and more so than you will.
I think hopefully me being his roommate, because that's the plan when we get down there, is we're going to live together. You know, it is a little nerve-wracking, but I think he also has just as much reason to be a little nervous about me and us being roommates together.
Oh, trust me, we've also talked about you two being down there together is also a dangerous competition.
We're playing with fire. But, I don't know, I think Gain also, he's going to go out and he's going to live up Nashville more so than... Like from the different aspect of he just wants to go. He's gonna want to get crazy down there when he moves down.
Yeah.
But I think at the same time, he's got that. Like he's a good writer.
Yeah, I did ask him if
to
he
do
wanted
stuff
to
with
write.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think us together, we'll be able to like. It'll be fun to like just bounce ideas off of each other.
It'd be a good 1-2 punch kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like he writes, you sing, you write, he critiques, or like combination of the two. It's
So I don't necessarily want to say that I'm okay. Yeah, I'm a little worried about that. About the Broadway Jake Gain, I'm a little worried about, but I think we'll be able to focus up and like not make that so much of why we're down there.
Oh yeah, I think,
and hopefully me being down there will help him like see it the same way.
Yeah, I think in the long run of things. Also, Jake gets himself in those situations where he's going to end up meeting someone that's of some ungodly amount of importance. That is, I think one day would be like, hey, Brian, I met this guy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and just like work. Like just you're doubling the chance at connections.
Yeah,
but and I think in the long run, he's going to be just fine. Both of you guys are going to do just fine down there. I think the first month of him being down there and you having your bearings is going to be...
It might get a little dangerous.
That's going to be dangerous. Where he's like, let's go out, and you're like, I know where.
Plus,
more so than we already do.
Yeah. And, I mean, it's also one of those where I can't imagine when you guys come down to visit and all that.
He's already invited me to sleep on your couch.
Yeah. See? There you go.
For a few months, by the way.
Dude.
He goes, hey, man, you want to come down there? I'm like, one, might need to check with the other roommate. Two, I would rather you guys make some connections and be like, hey, my buddy's got something he might want to do with you, and then do that for like 2 weeks. They're like, oh, Brian's friends with these artists now. All right, let's get him on the show. Or whatever. Like, Jake, I'm not living on your couch for 3 months in Nashville.
Yeah. I mean... Stuff's gonna be wild, man. And I've already had people saying, "Oh, I'm gonna come this weekend. Oh, let me come this month, this week." I'm like, you guys.
Everyone says that. Everyone says like, "Oh, we're coming all the time."
Yeah.
They'll be there once in
For
1
real.
year.
Yeah.
Like the people when you, I remember going to college and you're like, "Oh, we're coming up for game days all the time. Like we'll go to the games." And like the first 2 weeks freshman year, I was like, "Oh, all my friends are coming up, blah blah blah." And by like week 2, I was like, "Hey, stop coming up."
Yeah.
And
like,
then
I got shit to do.
then it's like 2 weeks of like, nah, I got other stuff I want to do. I'm making new friends too. Not that I don't like you, but like I have things I want to do down here. Like I'm here for a reason. And then by like month 2, it's just like radio silence. Like, all right, no one's doing this anymore. I mean, because it's a trek to get down there.
It's such a trek, unless you fly. Flying, we just realized in October, our fly literally from like Milwaukee.
Yeah,
kind of nutty. But don't fly. You obviously can't fly. When we bought tickets, I think I bought my Milwaukee to Nashville for like $60 in the heat of Corona. So.
Yeah, I mean, right. I'm so sick of driving places. Like, guys, we're in our 20s. Like, we have jobs. We can afford $100-$200 plane ticket round trip to go somewhere. We don't need to drive 26 hours to Texas right now.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
So yeah, I remember telling start of New Year's we were talking about like trips I wanted to plan with one of our buddies, and like we're flying wherever we go, we're flying.
Dude,
like I don't want to.
And hell, if you even have to rent a car there, like who you do it?
Or like if we're going somewhere, it's usually like a friend we have we're visiting. Like they can pick us up.
For
real. If they want us there, they'll pick us up. It's a 20-minute drive from the airport. Like whatever. Oh well. Are you packed for the move? I mean, kinda. I'm looking at all your stuff right now.
Everything's cleaned.
That's good.
Yeah. Still got to pack up majority of this recording stuff I got out here, but I mean,
it's not a ton.
Yeah. And like I said earlier before we started recording, the place that I'm staying right off the bat is fully furnished, so I don't got to bring any.
That's so huge.
Yeah.
It's so
furniture
huge.
is incredible.
And you got to add this: the room you're renting is someone else's house.
Yes.
So it's not an apartment. It's like a room in a house.
Mm-hmm.
And she's leaving a month after you get there.
Oh,
for how long?
A week after.
A week after you get there. Oh, yeah. It's fucking February 15th right now.
I'll get there the 20th. I think I'm going to like actually move in the day after, so the 21st. My dad's going down there with me, so we're staying in a hotel the first night. And she's got stuff going on that Saturday. But, yeah, she said first week of March she'll be out of there.
How long is she gone for?
She has not told me how long the assignment is, but she's going out west somewhere. So
you probably
and
at
she
least
told me,
have 1 to 3 months.
yeah, and she told me when we were talking about everything, she's like, yeah, after the first week I'll be gone. The space will be primarily yours, because we had talked about me only doing a month to month. So she made it seem like she'll be there the first week, and then the timeline I gave her when I assume that I'll be done,
Yeah.
like she won't even be back yet. So like I don't know, and I don't even know how
you
long.
might have just finessed an entire house to yourself.
This might be a legendary time.
You'll find out there's cameras in that house. I'm assuming there definitely are.
That's why my dad's coming down, just to kind of scope it out with me, make sure nothing's too good to be true.
That'd be real if that's just like a move she pulls. It's like, no, you can stay here for the month. I leave actually in a week, so it's yours 3 months, just to see what shit you pull, or she's just kind of watching you from a different house for the next 3 months. How fucking creepy would that be? Like, that'd be a Dateline episode.
Well,
Airbnb lady stalks up-and-coming music artists.
Trust me, I've thought about every scenario that could happen in this, and have overthought it all, so.
Yeah, you'll be all right. I can't. Oh, man, that would be so creepy. You just find it can't, like one of those nanny cams, or like in
right at the
pillows
foot of the bed or something.
Yeah, just like, is that one in the toilet? What are you trying to get out of this?
That's some kinky shit, man.
Get off on ass cracks. Just up right up there in the anus. Oh, this is taking a turn for the worse. Yeah, so you move. When this is released, you move tomorrow.
Yep. Yes, sir.
God, dude, I'm jealous. I'm so jealous.
It's just kind of crazy. I mean, like I was saying, like it's been in the works for the past year, but like, I don't know. I had a little time in December, I'll be honest, where I didn't think it was going to happen anytime soon, just because I was just in my head about, expenses and just kind of everything that it entailed. I didn't feel like I was ready and like in the right mind space with putting music out and stuff. And it was really stressful. But then, like, I made the first big move towards it, which was buying my truck, because I knew I needed a vehicle. And then, like, honestly, Gain telling me that his stuff was moving faster, it kind of put me at ease.
Yeah, and that he was actually going to pull the trigger as well. Yeah, I mean, you can't expect yourself to make every giant leap by yourself. It is kind of nice to have some. Yeah. Like I always said, like, you're only going to progress when you're uncomfortable. But, I mean, having a little comfort kind of on the back burner is really nice. And I think Gain moving is definitely helping you out, knowing, like, all right, I'm not going to be – you're not going to be alone. I mean, you are for, like, 2-3 months.
Yeah, but that's also why I wanted to do it before he moved down there, because I wanted to put myself in that situation. Yeah, where I was going to be alone.
Then it's like it's business and not just like you move down there. It's like, oh, I just got a new roommate with – like a college roommate kind of thing. We're like, oh, let's party for a month and just kind of waste a month.
Because I kind of like went back and I like was thinking about all of like even just my college experiences and like every which way I went. When I was at Oshkosh, I roomed with one of my best good friends from high school for a year. Next year was from Braxton and Ryan Coos were in Oshkosh with me, so I was hanging out with them all the time. Moved back here, went to MATC, was living at home. And then when I went to Whitewater, I was with Josh Ringelberg and
it's like
all
you're
my
almost
friends.
too comfortable.
Yeah.
So, I hate that.
Yeah, it's one of those situations where it was like I knew to kind of mature. I'll put it that way.
Yeah.
I need to go do something by myself. So while having Gain there in a couple months will be great, I am very happy that I'm doing this by myself.
Yeah, you're kind of allowing yourself to start a new life. First, like trying to kind of like kickstart it. Yeah, and just like you're gonna hit the ground running, which is great. And I've kind of noticed like you moving now. I don't know if it's completely orchestrated this way, but it just kind of seems like, I mean, all the pieces fell together perfectly for you right now. Really I mean, obviously you made the step with the truck, but Gain stuff moving quickly, and then you got the music, and then I know obviously you probably are planning it to come out the day before you move kind of thing, but I mean, you only finished it, what, a week, 2 ago?
Yeah, it was completely finished. I had all the masters back 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, so you're like, and when did you know you were moving? How long ago?
It was probably a little over 2 weeks ago, so like that Friday, so I got I like kind of finalized things with the lady on a Friday, and then I got my master's back that following Monday.
Yeah, so I mean, it's like boom, boom, boom. You're like, all right, this is, and now you're kind of like, this week has to almost be like super enjoyable for you. Like, I really don't need to do a whole lot but pack and just kind of enjoy.
Mm-hmm. Like everything's just, Friday's going to be awesome seeing the music come out, and then I got a little last minute shebang with the friends.
Yeah,
and then
that'll be
Saturday,
fun.
it's gone.
Yeah.
Time.
Yeah, but obviously, I think this group that we're with, is it getting darker and darker? Fuck it, whatever. Like slowly, it's just gonna be a black screen for me.
Your face.
Yeah, I wore black
face
on
the
the
Nike
wrong
stripe.
day. Yeah. But I think slowly and slowly, this group that we've been with the past couple of months is starting to go separate ways, and I kind of like to see it.
Yeah.
Like everyone's kind of building their own thing, and it's fun. It's fun actually seeing people, because after a while, as much fun as we're having together, I think all of us would be like, hey guys, this is getting kind of boring. Like, we do this every fucking weekend.
Dude.
Like, because now we're all going to have different opportunities. Like, oh, we're doing this week, and come down to Nashville, come back up to Wisconsin, go down to wherever everyone else is going. Like, it's...
Yeah, and it's just fun to see, like, everyone's getting, like, their jobs. They're getting, like, comfortable with what they're doing and, like, being themselves, finding significant others and everything. Like,
yeah,
it's
I'm
cool,
not too keen on that one, but I'm so sick of seeing people dating.
Hey, single, baby, let's do it. Valentine's Day was yesterday.
Okay.
What am I? I'm like 7 years running single on Valentine's.
I am. I might be. Oh, I've never had a significant other on Valentine's Day.
Really?
I've never had. No, that's a lie. I've had a significant other once on Christmas. That's it. In the 24 years I've been on this planet, I've had a girlfriend for one holiday.
Dude, you pick and choose your points, man. You don't gotta spend money on those gifts or nothing.
Yeah, it's No, but I noticed I'm scrolling through Instagram and stuff yesterday, and obviously everyone's posting shit with their significant others. More people are in relationships than I actually thought.
True.
Like, way more.
I was gonna say too, like, you click on the stories on Instagram, you could go for like an hour and just keep seeing new people that you're like, what the hell?
But like the people who never post anything anyways, like, oh, I haven't heard from this person forever. They haven't posted. They're like me on social media, where like my personal account is just
nothing.
Like, I talk about this with Gain. My most busy year on social media was 2018, and it was 4 pictures.
Wow.
Otherwise, I'm like 8 months apart. Yeah, I mean, Gain
one
goes,
each season, bro.
Gain goes, who the fuck were you trying to impress?
Yeah,
one every season. No, but yeah, I mean, people I haven't heard from in a while. I'm like, you have a girlfriend? You got a boyfriend? Like, where is this at? Usually, like, dude, you got everyone our age is like, you get a significant other, you kind of flaunt it for a bit.
They're out there. Like, a lot of people aren't hiding their relationships as much as where it's just like nothing.
Yeah, and now I'm seeing pictures, like, I mean, granted, you can tell they're not comfortable doing it. It's just like, it's a Facebook post.
Yeah.
It's like, happy Valentine's Day, my love. Yeah. You are the best. That's it. And it's just like a picture. They're not even looking at the camera. They're like what is it? No. Devil's Lake. And it's just like looking out. I'm like, no one even knows who this is. This is just like a crop top and leggings,
just to make the significant other happy to know that they
posted just like,
them on
they
the
put
page.
In some effort. Yeah, because this frozen meal you bought me that we're having in your dingy apartment is not doing it for me. No, I was genuinely surprised how many people had it, and some people are better at obviously having relationships than other people, or balancing. The part that bothers me is balancing.
Yeah,
outside friends with girlfriends,
doing everything you need to do while still maintaining.
I'm like, hey man, I'm still part of your life, too. You can hang out with me.
And a lot of the times I feel like it's just there's obviously, like, the honeymoon phase and all this other stuff, like, that comes with it.
Yeah. That's reasonable.
And, like, when you get older, it's just, like, it's really only
delegated
like, get the
fuck
weekends,
away from me,
I feel like, when you're hanging out with your friends and stuff. But, yeah, man, I mean, at the end of the day, I'm just happy for people getting their relationships.
Oh, yeah, same. As long as they actually seem healthy. Because there have been some where I'm like, dude,
true.
What's the
like,
fucking point? What do you do? Yeah. I mean, oh, God, I'm not even going to get into that. Like, we have all seen people in relationships like, I know you two don't even like each other. I think you guys are just fucking bored.
That's the kind of thing that, I it's just never been something that I've really fully registered either. It's like, if you don't like fully feel like where you are with who you are with is going anywhere, I don't understand the point in
What's
being
the point
in
in doing
anything.
it? Yeah.
Like, that is just such a waste of time to me.
Such a waste. And it's honestly just because people are bored. There are people who just can't be alone.
Yeah.
And you know what? Everyone has their kink or whatever that
Mhm.
they're doing, like, oh, they just like having someone, and it's like, oh, I want to have sex, basically, kind of thing.
Yeah. Comes
But
down to it.
I've been the same person, like, almost since high school, which was like way too early to be thinking that. Where I'm like, where you kind of like talk to a girl for a while,
Yeah.
and you're like, shit. I've gone through like the second girlfriend I had in high school. I like waited like 4 months to ask her out. I'm like, do I do this? Do I not? Like, do I see this going anywhere? I'm like, dude, you're fucking 15. Just ask the girl out.
At that point, yeah.
Yeah.
Have a little fun in
But
high school.
I think I've always been just like, is there, like, if you don't genuinely see yourself being with
Is
this
there
person for a
potential?
while, yeah, potential
long-term
kind of thing.
potential?
Like, otherwise, the people are like, oh, you're cute. Should we date because we talk for a month? Like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, no. At least, like, especially now, like, you got to make sure shit's lining up and stuff. Like, and again, I'm also I didn't necessarily have it as early as you did, but probably once I got to college, it was something where it was like, I don't know. When I first got to college, I just felt like it was like, you got to grow up right away. So I was always, everywhere I would look, and this is kind of, I don't think it's a bad mindset to have, and I kind of still have it today, but it was like, could I marry this person is what I would think when I was trying to date somebody. And, you know, at the end of the day, that's just kind of how I see the dating game
no,
now.
there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever gone, can I marry this person kind of
Could
thing.
I see myself
Could I
marrying this
see
person?
myself?
Let me put it that
Yes.
way.
It's also so tough because, like, I've known this person for 3 weeks kind of bullshit.
Yeah, that's true. I guess my
but-
talking phase is always a little longer than I would like it to be.
But I think, what was it? I was gonna say the whole, like, do I see myself with it? Because I, like you said, is like, is this gonna be a waste of my time? Like, am I gonna
Yeah.
look back and be like, I put 3 years into this? Like, I wasted, like, to go like the douchebag route. Like, if you're a dude in college, I guarantee you, every guy in college freshman, you're like, dude, there's so many hot girls. You're like, how many can I talk to, kind of thing. And then you find one that you like. You date for 2.5 years, and you're like, I just wasted 2.5 years to potentially talk. I mean, like, that's not a good way to look at it,
No.
but that's how a lot of people do look at it.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
It's, whatever. I mean, in nowhere soon do I see myself having a girlfriend. I mean, the one female I talk to right now is my mother. That's it.
Hey, man. Everyone's got their own path, and I don't know where I'm at either. So
That's all right.
I'm moving to a new friggin' city.
That's what I like. Is new people, though. That's
Yeah.
again why I'm jealous. Is when I went down to Miami, I was like, oh, dude, there's so many. I can meet so many new people here. I met fucking no one, because kind of where we lived and what we did. But I mean, you're going to a mecca, like a booming town, and you're doing something that's social.
Yeah, that's one of the big things that I got to make sure that I'm on top of is like putting myself out there and doing stuff and making attempts to meet people.
Performing.
Yeah.
How have you looked into, like, finding spots or doing a set somewhere? Obviously, it's not going to be on Broadway right away.
Oh yeah, of course not. Yeah, I've been looking at, especially like the area that I'm gonna be living in. It's called Hadley, which is like by Germantown, which is more of a well-known neighborhood.
Okay.
I've been looking at a couple places that are like in the climate of things right now, that are still like doing live shows and like writers rounds, which is like a thing that I want to get into because that's where you showcase like more of your own music.
Yeah.
You know, I couldn't name you a place, but I also do know a couple people from high school that live down there and have done like some of the gigging stuff. So
Yeah, I was gonna say I have a friend down there who I think I might shoot you their number did exactly what you did. Just kind of went down there, and I mean, I see her playing her music all the time now, which is awesome. So, but yeah, I think that, in my opinion, obviously I don't know, I don't do music, but that would be like the most important thing to be doing right now is just playing as much as you can.
Anywhere you can too. Like even if you get like one person, 2 people to show up, like it is
just
what it
getting
is.
comfortable doing it and
'cause
just let it gradually happen.
I've never, other than when I was doing some other things last year for a television show that I was almost on, and playing at my brother's wedding, I haven't really done much performing in front of people.
We'll get you.
So
you should perform on Friday.
I think that there's going to be a twist where they might want me to do it.
I think they're going to make you do it.
I've been told there's some surprises to expect.
If I had to, I mean, I know nothing, but if I was a betting man, you will perform whether on your own or you're going to be hammered and just be like, let's fucking do this.
Time to send it last night in Wisconsin.
Screw it, I ain't going to see you guys again. I'm making new friends.
Crossover Cantina, we'll never see anything like it.
Oh, that'd be awesome. But yeah, I can imagine that's got to be the most important thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's gonna be tough, obviously. I think you're definitely strong-willed and just like, screw it, like this is just part of the process, which is I think you'll like, rather than just being thrown into. If you got thrown, can you imagine just being thrown? Like you get there Saturday, and next Saturday you're like, hey man, can you perform at Honky Tonk Central? I would shit my pants for you.
That's just one of those things where I would get up there and I wouldn't. Singing, maybe I'd be fine, but like the intermissions where you got to talk to these people, I'd be standing up there like, what do I do?
See, that's what let me come up, because I think I thrive at that part.
Yeah, we'll give you the mic for all the when I'm doing all my sound checks and all that shit.
Yeah, no,
Not me,
I mean, you don't technically have to talk to everyone. Just pretend like you're fixing the guitar the whole time.
For real. But that's also another thing that it's going to be interesting, because like when you're playing at those bigger places, I feel like it's like a lot of bands. And I'm going down there with me and my acoustic guitar.
Yeah.
So that's another factor where
hurdle,
it's like you got to meet people. You got to meet people that want to have the same vision as you. That you can maybe put a band together.
Exactly. Trying to find a band, I think, would be, I think, step 2.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, I still do know there's a lot of places where you can just do like acoustic, like even if it's just like open mics.
Yeah, and I'm sure
like you just hop on.
I'm sure there are like some. I mean, is there like there's gotta be something that's like rent a band? Like, hey, we're just gonna play covers.
True, just find a couple people to.
Just like, hey, you know, like these popular songs, and okay, let's say they throw in like a random one. Like, can you do that? And like, yeah, we can do it. Yeah. But like, do you have
especially down there?
Oh, for sure. I mean,
everyone who wants to be anything in music these days seems like they're going to Nashville.
I mean, I feel like every neighbor you're gonna have is gonna have someone that either does music, knows music, or makes it. It just. Oh, what was I gonna say? Do you have a? Oh, I was gonna ask you this. Do you have a like a set? Obviously, you have your 3 songs.
Yep.
And you're writing more. I know that.
Yep.
You need filler with covers.
Yep.
Give me your top 5 covers you would do right now.
5.
You know what we should do? I want to hear them, but we should do our all-time albums.
Oh.
And I was gonna have. I was fuck. I forgot to do this. I forgot to do this with Gain, because I was gonna have. Just compare the 2 country boys that are going down there and just types of music, because I think it'll be a good mix. Yeah. But you guys have clearly different tastes.
Oh yeah,
like mine's vastly different than yours.
Yeah.
But let's start with. Let's just do what would be your first 5 covers you would do?
So I'm thinking I'd want to put some Dan and Shay in there, because I have heard. Obviously, I'm not comparing myself to Shay Mooney. The dude's unreal. But probably something. What's Tequila? They got something main.
Yeah.
Like that's their most mainstream song. And something that I've really thought about when putting all this stuff together is that I need to like have a good mix of upbeat and, you know, the more ballad type stuff. So I'm thinking something Luke Combs, probably like Beer Never Broke My Heart, or even if it's something not as like upbeat like that, like She Got the Best of Me.
Yeah.
This is where I kind of taper off with what I would do. Probably some Chris Young. Because Chris Young's somebody that's got enough mainstream songs, too, that in his voice, when I sing, my voice is, I can mimic a lot of the stuff that he does and, like, make it sound good. I couldn't tell you necessarily a song that I would pick for him. Alone Tonight, maybe. That's one that I really like.
I'm listening. I'm just checking some.
Yeah. And then Brett Young's another one that I really like to sing. Here Tonight, Tickets to L.A., you know, but it's also about finding the stuff that's like right now popular on like radio too. So I don't really listen to country radio. I don't know what's like going on.
Oh, I fucking hate it. I hate the radio in general. It just kind of ruins everything. I mean, it doesn't ruin everything. It only ruins it if you're if you're listening to it for like multiple hours a day. I'm like, hey,
Oh yeah,
man,
'cause
I
you'll
heard
hear the same song 4 or 5 times.
what's the one that I was driving the car a lot the other day, and it was Big Plans or something like that.
Oh, Chris Lane.
Yeah.
Big Plans.
I mean, I'm like, hey, I've listened to this 5 times a day.
He's taking it over.
I was like, this has got to stop. Like, we know you got big plans.
What's crazy to me about that is that song came out in 2018, and it's just now getting and I thought it was really popular in 2018.
It
but
was.
It's like just now getting added to country radio. And yeah, dude, country radio just exhausts stuff until you can't
exhausts
take
it too
it
much.
anymore.
It's, I mean, how many times do you think Die Happy Man played on there?
Oh my gosh.
Holy shit.
This past summer,
or
hope.
Crash and Burn.
Well, yeah, they take it. Thomas Rhett. Thomas Rhett had Unforgettable, 16. He had
he
so
kills
many.
Kills it in a good way. Like, he's going to get his song out there. Yeah. It's just, I think if country radio, if I had to give any advice, I'm like, listen, if you want to support the artist, but like grow the fan base, stop playing the same songs over and over. There's got to be, like, I know I don't know everything about radio, but
yeah, I really don't either.
Come on, like you got to cap out at 3 times. I feel like a day.
Yeah, maybe
3,
like when you're
maybe
opening
4.
the show, the little noon or afternoon after work type thing, and then the late night. That's
or
all it should
each, be. Or each. What is it? Because obviously there's different people who are on from whatever
shift.
Like you have a set list that like these 30 songs need to play while you're on air, and then they get to pick 5 kind of thing, and just like let those 30 play 4 times throughout the day, and then there's 5 different ones every 3 hours. I think that'd be way better than hearing Crash and Burn twice from 9 to 10, 3 times from 11 to 12, and 4 more times from 3 to 6.
I'd actually be really curious to know like what the criteria is, because I'm sure like there are the songs where it's like you have to play these.
It's probably like
you have to pound these down people's throats. But
who knows?
Yeah, that I don't listen to country radio much, but I usually just listen to the stuff that I find on every Thursday night at 11 o'clock when it comes out, and I'll exhaust that for a week, and then I'll move on to the next stuff.
Yeah, you and Gain are good at that, finding the new music that comes out. I do not do that, but I also am working on other things that, like, that's up more your alley, where you have to.
It's every Thursday night, man. It's.
Are you ever worried about, not that you ever will, but like plagiarism, like accidental, like, hey, I did all this, and then you're like, oh my god, this sounds exactly like someone else's song that you never heard of.
Me accidentally copying someone else?
Yeah.
I've honestly never really thought about that. I know, like, in country, like, the genre, a lot of, like, songs, and it's, like, kind of a stigma that everyone says, they sound the same.
Every genre's like that, yeah.
But, like, in a sense, I'm like, yeah, this is just music, as it is. Like, there are chord progressions and just, like, musical progressions that are used over and over again because they're, like, proven to work.
They sound
good. So, I mean, I feel like, I have a song that I've been working on right now that when I wrote it, like 2 days after I wrote it, I was thinking, like, this kind of has like it had the same progression, it had like the same tempo as a song that I had liked.
Yeah, have you ever written it and be like, in your head, like if like I write a joke or something like that, like, this sounds way too much like this person wrote it, or you ever were like, oh, you're writing a song like this almost sounds exactly like, it's not the words, but like a Thomas Rhett song.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like when you're first doing it, and when I first was doing it on just the guitar, and like, yeah, I did with this one song, but then when I started like producing it myself, it was like there are so many ways to just build it and make it sound different, where it's like, this doesn't sound like this song at all anymore. Like, it's entirely different. Like, you couldn't compare the two, really, after you put all the layers on top of it.
Yeah, exactly. And you do it enough, like, there's no way this sounds the same.
Yeah. I was more so concerned, like, before I got all, like, my copyrights and stuff, and I was putting stuff on SoundCloud, I was more concerned about somebody finding something of mine and using it. And, like, grant, like, you know, that's obviously not very likely, because I was a brand new songwriter and stuff, but that was more of what would make me lose sleep than if what I had sounded too much like something else. Because at that point, I feel like it's just like, there's ways, like, you'd still be able to have your stuff out. You'd probably just have to give them a cut of whatever it is. But
yeah, and I don't see anyone suing you anytime soon.
yeah.
How many songs do you have in the works then now? After the 3 you put out,
Yeah.
how many more you think you have on the back burner?
So
or have you written, I think?
So written in total, I have 9.
Okay.
I have 1 after this single that is coming out, or that is out. I've got 1 more that I've kind of got like the entire instrument ensemble pretty much done. It's more so of just finalizing the vocals and mixing it a little bit. And then I started another one of my songs that I had written a couple months ago, and I just got like kind of like a bass acoustic track down, and I got to add all the other elements to it. But I've only had the recording equipment for like a month.
Yeah, it's new, and
I'm still figuring it all out.
You're tinkering with it,
and it's literally me and my acoustic guitar and the little MIDI pad that I've got. So it's still fun to just kind of mess around with and see what works, and I think sounds good.
So from start to finish, you have it written, so not start to finish, but okay, you get your song written. What does it take you on average to have it completely mastered? Like, you have it written, let's say you're doing it all yourself too, so you don't have the guy you were doing it with earlier.
Yeah.
How long do you think it takes you to do the drums, the guitar, the vocals, and then get it up? Actually, let's not screw the get up time.
So just recording, just tracking.
Recording, tracking, and mastering it together.
So I'll tell you, this is how. So when I was with the other guy, I obviously learned how to kind of go about doing it.
Yeah.
So it starts. You'd kind of do you record your scratch vocals, what it's called. So you just have something to go off of, and then you just play whatever you want your bass kind of underlying instrument to carry the tone of the song. And I would obviously just use my acoustic guitar. So that's, if you want to get everything sounding perfect, that could be a couple takes, because I'm not the best guitar player as it is. So that could even take me upwards of, I don't know, 2 to 3 hours a day to just get all of that sounding perfect from like start to finish.
Yeah.
And then if I'm just going based off of what I did on that song that I did record by myself, it was probably another 4 hours of figuring out what I wanted to make with the beat, getting all of that like pretty perfectly spaced out as best as I could figure out how to do on GarageBand, and then putting the bass track in. So that was probably another 3-4 hours. So what are we at? Like 7-8 hours. And then 1 more day to record like a lead guitar part, a little melody, as well as add like an electric guitar component. So I'd probably give that another 2 to 3. And then vocals, which is the most frustrating part, because ultimately that's what I want to be. And I'm going to nitpick that like crazy.
I would hope that's what you're like most.
Yeah, that's like a couple days, because like when I write the songs, I don't really think of a harmony necessarily right away. I'm pretty just kind of inclined that way, where I can think of what it would be.
That's nice.
Yeah, but like I'll record the entire melody part. That'll take me a couple, like tens of takes, because I'm just like that, like I was saying.
Yeah, I mean,
but then
you're an artist.
Yeah.
You want it to be as perfect as possible.
True.
It's a blessing and a curse.
Yeah. But I mean, then when you figure all that out, it's probably like, I don't know, a couple weeks worth to get everything perfect how you want to do it, depending on how much time you want to put into it.
So let's just say
probably like
mastering probably takes you 2.5 weeks.
Yeah.
And then writing it, obviously, I feel like you can't put a time frame on writing. That's just that stuff's got to just come to you. Yeah.
My first song I ever wrote came out when I was in class, and it's actually on the single. It's called Never Off the Table. I was in class one day, and I was just like, you know what? I want to like write this song based off of this idea that I had for like a long time. And 30 minutes in class, I had written the verse, 2 verses, and the chorus. Got home from class, finished the bridge, and tinkered with the final chorus a little bit, and that was like a matter of probably 2 total hours, and I had a song written. And then I literally in my notes right now have verses, like a verse or a chorus that I've had in there since like March of 2020 that I just can't seem to figure out.
Really?
Yeah. So it's just like, it really is so much different. And it's one of those things where it's like, if I feel like I'm starting to force something onto the paper, I will like stop working on it and I'll come back to it later because I don't want to.
You don't want to just put it in there just
Yeah.
for the sake of having it in there. You obviously want it to flow pretty well. So then, I guess we do this. Your 3 songs. You have Never Off the Table, Montgomery Drive, which is the street you grew up on.
Yes.
Which when I asked you for the address to get here, I probably should have figured that out because I know that.
Yeah.
I guess I just
didn't figured it out.
Could have figured it out, yeah. And then what's the third one called?
Third one is Hey.
Just Hey?
Just Hey.
Okay, Just Hey.
Yep.
Do you want to... This is up to you because I know we talked about... It might be tough because I'm such a rookie when it comes to doing this stuff. You're going to play out the episode, but do you want to describe your songs a little bit? Do you want to give background to them?
Yeah. So I'll go in the order that they're going to appear on the single. Hey was a song. It was probably like the 3rd or 4th song I wrote. I remember I started writing it because at this point I'd kind of touched on a couple different ideas that, like, there was Montgomery Drive I had already written. That's like the hometown one. Never Off the Table, which was the first one I wrote, which I'll explain a little bit more about later, but it was it's like a breakup type track. And then another one that I'm working on right now, which is more of like the upbeat, happy love one.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to write a song at this point about like first meeting a girl and like kind of seeing where everything can go. So I don't know where it came from, where the idea of Hey came from, but I was thinking of that one. And like when you listen to the songs, which I know everybody listening will do, it just kind of, it's like a nice little progression of like, hey, you meet a girl at a bar. Next, it's like, hey, I want to know more about you. And then it ends with like, hey, I can see myself marrying you type deal. So, yeah, I just thought that was a really cool progression of how, like, I don't know, I guess.
Well, I can already tell you where that came from. I'm kind of glad the relationship thing came up. Cause, I mean, you talk about how, like, you're not going to go after someone unless you can see yourself with them.
Yeah,
so, like, is this kind of just like how you approach?
Yeah, I guess it kind of
saying, like, why, like, whether or not you are going to say, hey, I guess how I
Yeah.
interpret it for your personality. But, no, it's awesome. That's number 1 on the track.
Yeah, that is
and then
the lead off. The next one is Never Off the Table.
Okay.
So, like I was saying before, I wrote this one in class in 30 minutes.
Is this post-breakup personally for you?
No, this idea came to me from the TV show Friends.
Oh, a little Ross and Rachel?
Yep.
Okay.
And it's Never Off the Table is a line that she says.
Oh, my God. Yes, it is. I know exactly what you're talking about.
I think it's like season 9.
It's like with you and I, it's never off the table.
Yep, there it is. So I heard that line. I think I was probably watching Friends at the time, and I heard it. And I was like, dude, that would be a cool song. And then, I whipped it up in class one day, and it's like exactly what it means in Friends. It's like
pretty
one of those
self-explanatory. Yeah, I like that a lot. Though. Yeah, I like that a lot.
Relationship.
I'm excited to hear that one.
Yeah, a relationship where it's just like, it's you may be on or off, but it's never completely done. And it's got this is personally my favorite song. Having it being my first, and it was one that I just like felt like when we were recording it, I could put like a lot more of my like emotion into the singing of it because like it's just, I don't know, when I wrote the song it just like meant so much to me, and I just thought it was so cool that it was like my first song.
Do you see that being, because I imagine there are artists, before we get to the last one, obviously when we go to a concert we want to hear all the hits and stuff like that, and I think being an artist I can imagine it's like, hey man, I played this 13 times, like all I've done it for the last like 3 months to play these songs, and when a new album comes out, like obviously they're the hardcore fans of the world, like, oh, play these new ones that most people haven't heard of, that they're probably reluctant to play. But I'm sure there's also like every artist has like songs that just aren't maybe that popular, or even if they are popular, like it's their favorite song to play. Yeah. I can see that one being, whether it's popular or not, in the future, just like if when you perform, like you look forward to playing that one the most.
Yeah. And I mean, like I said, it was just one of those, like, and even when I was recording it, I remember telling like the guys that I was working with, like, guys, like this one, I want this one to sound like awesome.
This one's got to be perfect.
Yeah, because
any of the three, this one's got to be perfect.
This one, the vocals took like 2 full sessions to get on this one. And yeah, because I was just very nitpicky about it. And like, it's nothing crazy instrumentally. It was just like I wanted the emotion behind the voice to kind of carry it, because it's one of those songs where it's like, it's a very uncertain song, like just the message of it.
Yeah,
so
it's very emotional. It's from within.
Yeah. So I wanted to make sure that kind of came out, and
I'm sure it will.
Man. It's awesome.
Hopefully everyone listens to it today.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right after you hop off of here.
Hopefully you listen to the songs before. Although, we'll figure out a time when you want this released. But last one, Montgomery Drive, your hometown street. Moving away from it.
Yeah.
I think might also be a little self-explanatory, but how'd you write it? Why'd you write it?
Yeah. So this one came right before last year in January. For those of you listeners who don't know me, I was almost on the television show last year in January.
And explain this, because this is kind of funny.
Yeah, so The Bachelor did a spinoff called Listen to Your Heart last year, and I was very far along in the process to be on that. And I was in Los Angeles, and I was getting ready to film, and I was one of the last cuts. So that was...
Didn't you find out, like, in your hotel room, they're just like, yeah, you can go home?
Yeah, I found out that, like, the day of filming.
Didn't you... I thought you... thought like, oh, I'm on this show, that's why I'm here, and they're like, just go home.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I had signed a contract and everything.
Really?
And they just came in that morning. I was kind of like, took my shower, was getting ready for the night, and they were like, unfortunately, since it's a new show, there's a lot of moving parts, so you will unfortunately not be filming tonight.
Did that show ever get off the air or get on the air?
Yeah, it was like a 6 episode. I think they were like an hour long.
Really?
I don't think it got renewed.
Looking back, are you glad you're not on it, or do you wish that's something you would have been on?
I personally don't really think I was ready to be on it.
Okay.
So I think it is a blessing in disguise that I did not get on it. This was before I even fully wanted to pursue music. This was just something where it was like, they found my Instagram. They found my Instagram, and I was like, okay, let's do it. So
they found you. This is not something you reach out to do at all?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, they sent me an email in like August of 19.
It's like, hey.
About it.
What was the premise of this?
It was like...
Is it one of those like Big Brother things where you just kind of like sing into the camera like, I think Beatrice likes me, but Devin likes her, and I don't want to ruin my alliance with Devin because I want to win the $5,000 at the end of this 6
Well, I mean, I didn't watch it. Like I was not interested in it after all that happened. But yeah, my impression of what I gathered in the whole process of it was The Bachelor, but the dates would be singing. And they would try to like see who's compatible like romantically through who is compatible like on stage. So, I mean, I don't know if anyone dating on that show is still dating or if they ever were dating post-production.
I mean, that's got to be, no offense to the show or you almost being on it, but that's got to be worse than the actual Bachelor. I think they're going to find love in 3 weeks. Do you think you can find love in 6 episodes?
For real. I
can't imagine it took that long to film that.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you. I wasn't there, but yeah, I don't know. At the end of the day, I'm really happy I probably wasn't on that because all I've heard about the show is it was questionable.
I was going to say, that I feel like that could have led you down a weird path.
Yeah.
Obviously, it would have given you some notice, but if you're not ready to be noticed kind of thing, I feel like it definitely can hurt some people. Like the people get famous too quickly off like TikTok and then just like they don't know what to do with themselves.
And like I hadn't done like, and I mean I still haven't gigged or anything, but I've like I was saying, like I hadn't even fathomed a career really in music. This was more like I did this, like I said, just for like a fuck it, and it would maybe help jumpstart something. But yeah, when I look back, like there was no way I was ready. I remember sitting in that like when I was getting ready for everything to kind of get moving, I was just like, how am I here? I have no experience.
Why? Yeah.
How did I get picked for this? But I do think the whole process of it all was worth me doing because the experience was fun.
Yeah.
But yeah,
and it might have like put it in your head like, oh, this might be something I actually do want to make a career out of.
Yeah, and it definitely helped kickstart that too.
That's good. But back to Montgomery Drive.
Yeah. So I wrote Montgomery Drive before I went off to go to LA for the show, and this was also after Morgan Wallen's This Bar came out. So that's kind of where I got some inspiration.
He's on a timeout.
Yeah,
right
I don't know if
that's all right.
Yeah,
we covered that earlier this week. Yeah.
But that's where the inspiration came from because, I mean, that's kind of like his finding himself hometown type deal. And, the progression was just very easygoing. And on the single, it's just me and my guitar. Like, there's no other instruments. It's just an acoustic track. And I felt like that was kind of the best way to get the emotion of this one across. Because it really is just like a humble beginnings, don't forget where you came from type deal. And like I feel like everyone can kind of relate to it if they do, in fact, love their hometown and love their upbringing and all that kind of stuff. And like you can it's called Montgomery Drive. You can throw your name of your city into it or your street into it growing up.
Stonewood Circle. Like, I don't think that
I'm not gonna, as much of I won't write a song about that. Yeah, I lucked out. Montgomery Drive sounds like
it sounds nice, real good.
Like a nice country track. But and that's also when you're talking about the entire project altogether. It's it hit me earlier in the week that it's like I'm releasing this single about my hometown, and in the song, like I say a line. Now I've gone through so many twists and turns.
Yeah.
But no matter where they take me on this earth, like, and I'm literally moving the day after I release this. Like, I'm leaving my hometown, and it's just like, it's crazy. It's crazy how it all works.
It's a poetic transition. I think it's perfect. I think, like I said before, everything has, I think, fallen into place for you at the right time. It just like the pieces came together. I'm excited to hear it. I'm pumped. You're gonna play this episode out.
Let's do it.
Which one are we about to hear, basically? Which one do you want? Which one's going to go?
It's going to be Montgomery Drive.
It's going to be Montgomery Drive.
You guys are hearing the name of the single. That's for sure. I'll save the other two for when you listen to it after the episode.
Or before.
Or if you've already heard it.
Maybe it's the second time listening to it. Who knows? Well, I think I'm excited. I know all of us, your friend group, everyone's pumped for you. We're happy for you.
Oh yeah, brother.
Thank you for doing this.
Yes,
I wish you the
Thanks
best
for
of luck.
me.
Like I said, this comes out. By the time this comes out, we're probably having a drink together right now. So I'm looking forward to that. And well, here it is, Montgomery Drive.
Yes, sir. Enjoyable. Yes, sir.
Moved in 1999 when God decided it was Grandma's time. Mom, Dad, 3 brothers and me, to keep the house in the family that Grandpa built with his bare hands. I wish I could have met that man who dug the roots of the family tree about a half hour south of Milwaukee. Fridays walking down that hall, couldn't wait to go out and catch that ball. Went to state my senior year, lost the game and shed some tears. Met some guys, became best friends. Found a girl who wrecked my world back when every heartbreak tore you down. But the lost love made me stronger now. It ain't just the town where I grew up, ain't just the place where I'd get drunk after all the high school dances. Fell in love, learned all my lessons. It's who I am, it made me me. Every mile, million memories. You can find the soundtrack of my life on Montgomery Drive. I didn't know how I was supposed to go and leave this little village that I owe everything to, but it was time to go my own way and start my own life. Now I've gone through so many twists and turns, and no matter where they take me on this earth, I'll never forget my hometown. I just hope to make them proud. It ain't just the town where I grew up, ain't just the place where I'd get drunk after all the high school dances. Fell in love, learned all my lessons. It's who I am that made me me. Every mile, million memories. You can find the soundtrack of my life on Montgomery Drive. On Montgomery Drive. It ain't just the town where I grew up, ain't just the place I always loved. With everything in this man's heart, been with me from the start. It's who I am, it made me me. Every mile, million memories. You can find who I am in this life on Montgomery Drive. On Montgomery Drive. On Montgomery Drive. Everything that I am in this life on Montgomery Drive.